turning the basketball over and then off to the races. Could have held it out, instead made the right read, throws it up where only Giannis can catch it.
It was abominable and indefensible. And so, as much as I liked Phoenix going into this, and as much as they were up 2-0, they lost 4 straight games because the strategy was wrong.
Hard-headed.
And they lost faith. And do I think Phoenix will get back next year?
No.
I do not.
No.
33 playoff appearances in 57 seasons, .537 winning percentage, and 13 Hall of Famers. Look at this team who only made the playoffs 25 times in 45 years, a .508 winnings percentage, and only 3 Hall of Fame players. Or this team with 24 playoff appearances in 55 years, a .470 winning percentage, and only 5 Hall of Fame players. You would think the first team was the most esteemed franchise with the most championships. You would think the first team is such a great team to be a fan of. But that may not be the case. As soon as we reveal championships, both the other teams have 1, while the Suns have 0. Of all the NBA teams, the Suns are probably dealing with the hardest luck, because they've had a number of very good teams that just couldn't cash in. Think of the Charles Barkley Suns of the late 1990s who couldn't overcome Michael Jordan, and then Hakeem Olajuwon, and then the Steve Nash Suns who lost in 2007. Most recently, the Devin Booker Suns were unable to hold a 2-0 lead against the Bucks in 2021. And after that, it's been mediocre seasons, leaving fans feeling empty. While a legacy was cemented in the 2021 season, another was being destroyed. After that point, we never saw the Suns in title contention. Personally, I don't see them getting there this year. But the Suns are such a mystery I had to take a deeper look at. What keeps them from winning? Why have they become the biggest anomaly in the NBA? Among the 10 ringless franchises, the Suns have played the most NBA seasons, 57, and games, 4,525, as well as posting the most wins, 2,429 of any team on this list. While the Pacers are younger and probably have the brighter long-term future, karmically speaking, no team is more due to join the first-time winners club than Phoenix. They only had a few opportunities at glory but fell short at every opportunity. In 1976, they lost in the finals to the OG Celtics. Then they lost in the 1992 finals to Jordan's Bulls, and the most devastating of them all we will talk about later in detail. This franchise has had a lot of disappointments, and to go through all of the history of the team to dissect why this could be would be impossible. So instead, why don't we talk about one series that can represent the disappointment that is the Suns? Picture this. It's June 30th, and you're a Phoenix Suns fan. Your team finally won the conference finals and are heading to the finals. You're awaiting the outcome of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Bucks and Hawks. After a few days, you find out you'll be playing the Bucks, another failed franchise with only one NBA title in 1970. They're looking to cement their legacy, and so are their fans. But so are you, and the Suns are so close to winning their first title ever after so many failures. What happened? Let's find out. The finals tipped off in Phoenix, and the Suns wasted no time making a statement. With their home crowd roaring, the Suns delivered an electric performance, winning Game 1 by a score of 118-105. Chris Paul, in his first-ever NBA Finals appearance, played like a man possessed. The veteran point guard dropped 32 points, dished out 9 assists, and shot an efficient 12 of 19 from the field. Devin Booker added 27 points, while DeAndre Ayton controlled the paint with a monstrous 22 points and 19 rebounds. On the other side, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who miraculously returned from a hyperextended knee suffered in the Eastern Conference Finals, put up 20 points and 17 rebounds. But it wasn't enough to overcome the Suns' offensive firepower in Game 1. This brought the fan base much excitement and anticipation that the trend of failure for the Suns would finally end. And then it was Game 2. Game 2 was a showcase of the Suns' backcourt brilliance. Devin Booker caught fire, scoring 31 points, including 7 three-pointers, as Phoenix took a commanding 2-0 series lead with a 118-108 victory. Chris Paul continued his steady play with 23 points and 8 assists, while DeAndre Ayton anchored the defense and grabbed 11 rebounds. The Suns looked unstoppable, but Giannis Antetokounmpo was far from done. The Greek freak put on a clinic, scoring 42 points and adding 12 rebounds, showing why he's a two-time MVP. However, the Bucks' supporting cast struggled to match the Suns' depth and shot-making. The Suns went up 2-0 in the finals. Their legacy was finally about to change. They were getting ready to change everything for their fan base. They were so close to winning. But then, history decided to repeat itself. With the series shifting to Milwaukee, the Bucks found new life on their home floor. Fueled by their passionate fans, the Bucks dominated Game 3, winning 120-100. Giannis was unstoppable, dropping 41 points, grabbing 13 rebounds, and dishing out 6 assists. His relentless attacks in the paint set the tone for Milwaukee's victory. Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday stepped up as well, combining for 39 points, while the Bucks' defense stifled the Suns' offense. This was a setback for the Suns, and they're hoping to turn things around in Game 4 to avoid despair once again. But the Bucks had different plans. Game 4 was a classic, an intense battle that came down to the wire. The Bucks evened the series at 2-2 with a hard-fought 109-103 victory. Giannis once again led the way with 26 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists, but it was his defensive heroics that stole the spotlight. In the final minutes, with the Suns threatening to take the lead, Giannis made one of the greatest defensive plays in finals history, rejecting Ayton's alley-oop attempt. That block became the defining moment of the series. Chris Middleton delivered in the clutch, scoring 40 points, including several key buckets in the fourth quarter. For the Suns, Devin Booker was sensational with 42 points, but Chris Paul struggled, committing costly turnovers. This series really begins to show the Suns' problems all along. Game 5 was a thriller. The Bucks stunned the Suns on their home court, winning 123-119 in a game that swung the momentum of the series entirely. The Bucks' Big Three delivered in spectacular fashion. Giannis scored 32 points, Middleton added 29 points, and Drew Holiday had 27 points and 13 assists. But the defining play came in the closing moments. With the Suns trailing by 1, Drew Holiday stripped Devin Booker and threw an incredible alley-oop to Giannis, who slammed it home, securing the win. Devin Booker was brilliant once again, scoring 40 points, but it wasn't enough to stop Milwaukee's momentum, with the Suns down 3-2 in the series. This went from a Suns dominant series to a Bucks series in just 3 games. This is their legacy as a franchise, getting so close just to fall short, no matter the generation, the teams, or the performance from their superstars. They always fall short, and they have one last chance to break the cycle. Back in Milwaukee for Game 6, the stage was set for a historic night, and Giannis Antetokounmpo delivered a masterpiece for the ages. The Bucks clinched the title with a 105-98 victory, ending their 50-year championship drought. Giannis was unstoppable, putting up a legendary 50 points, along with 14 rebounds and 5 blocks. He became just the 7th player in NBA history to score 50 points in a finals game, earning Finals MVP honors. Chris Middleton added 17 points, and Drew Holiday's defense was once again pivotal. For the Suns, Chris Paul fought hard with 26 points, but it wasn't enough to force a Game 7. The Suns filed again, and their legacy of disappointment was cemented while the Bucks broke their cycle of failure. We've talked about the Suns and their history of falling short. Then, we talked about the time in which they were the closest to winning. What that series showed me is the clear reason the Suns never won and still continue to struggle. They always run into superstars and teams with bigger firepower than them. From Jordan in the 90s to Giannis in the 2021 season. The Suns had great players and good teams, but always ran into a team fighting for the same prize that is just that much more determined to win. If the Suns ever want to see title glory, they need a superstar that gets them over the top. Otherwise, the Suns will continue to fall just short yet again.